Hi everyone, how are you? I hope everyone is okay. Today I'm super excited because I'm starting the new episode of the third session, reading practice. In this series, I want to focus on something very simple but actually very deep because we are analyzing how we read text. Not only what the text means, but how meaning is produced through language, structure, rhythm, and images. And I want to start with a very short poem by Langston Hughes titled Harlem, also known by its opening question, quote, "What happens to a dream deferred?" Unquote. Before I begin, I'll read the poem first. So, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore, and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over, like a syrup sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? Unquote. Now I want to stay with this opening question for a moment. What happens to a dream deferred? This is not a statement, right? It's a question, and that already changes the way we read. A question opens space, it doesn't close meaning, it delays it. So, from the very beginning, the poem is built on uncertainty. And the key phrase here is a dream deferred. A dream usually suggests something open, something forward looking, but deferred interrupts that movement. It means postponed, delayed, pushed into the future, but not resolved. So, already in this very first line, we are not dealing with a dream that is alive or dead. We are dealing with something suspended in time. Now, what follows is a series of images. Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? The first image is transformation through time. A raisin is not destroyed fruit. It is fruit that has lost its life, its moisture, its fullness. So the dream here is not erased, but reduced. It shrinks. It loses vitality. Then Hughes asks, or faster like a sore, and then run. Now the image becomes bodily even painful. A sore is something that should heal, but instead it becomes infected. The language here is no longer abstract. It is physical. It is uncomfortable. The dream is now something that hurts. Does it stink like rotten meat? Here the image shifts again from injury to decay, from pain to disgust. Something that was once alive is now not only dead, but socially unbearable. The sense of time in the poem is important here. The longer something is deferred, the more it deteriorates. Then we move to a surprising turn. Or crust and sugar over, like a syrup sweet. This line is interesting because it introduces contradiction. Something that looks preserved, even sweet on the surface, but is actually hardened underneath. So here we can think about appearance versus reality. The dream is not necessarily destroyed. It might be covered, hidden, frozen in a different form. Then Hughes writes, maybe it just acts like a heavy load. This image slows everything down. There is no explosion, no decay, no sweetness, just weight, something that is carried, something that presses down on the body. So the dream becomes a burden. And finally, the last line, or does it explode? This is the most sudden shift in the poem. After all these slow processes, dying, festering, decaying, sagging, we arrive at rupture. Explosion suggests an unpredictable release of pressure. It is the only image that breaks the pattern of gradual transformation. So if we read the poem closely, we see that it is not simply asking what happens to a dream. It is actually offering a range of possible temporalities. Some dreams dry slowly, some decay, some become hidden, some become burdens, and some might suddenly break open. But what is important here is that the poem does not choose one answer. Instead, it keeps the question open, right? And this brings me to the idea of reading itself. Because reading is not just about arriving at meaning, it is about following these shifts, noticing how language produces different kinds of experience, and staying with uncertainty rather than resolving it too quickly. So, in this first episode, I wanted to show how close reading works at a very basic level. We slow down, we stay with words, and pay attention to how meaning is built step by step. In the next episodes, I will continue with the different texts and different reading strategies. I hope you enjoy in this session and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!